The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guys. Me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. It was fun last night. We had a great time. Andre's already in the chat stirring up trauma, stirring up the drama. Here we go. KD's a bum. Yeah, KD really did sell, man. I can't even hold you. KD really did sell like multiple times in that game. I don't know what was going on there with KD. I was on KD points. He finished with 23. I had 23 and a half. Some people had 22 and a half. So shout out to y'all. But I had 23. Number of things that went wrong. I mean, the under looked good until we got an overtime and then another overtime. Like it was multiple things there. But shout out Scott. And, we got the Warriors. We loved the Warriors yesterday. That cash that came through. And Jimmy doing Jimmy-like things, Steph doing Steph-like things, stuff like that. Luka, big game. If you guys were tailing along, we were 3 points away, 3 Steph points away, and 1 Luka assist from hitting Scott's 20-1 of Warriors money line, Luka triple-double, and Steph to hit the points prop. Very, 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 very close stuff there. So we got Lonte in the building going on. What's going on, Lonte?
Not much, man. Good night for sure. Good way to start it. I like the NBC broadcast, the player intros, all the coverage behind it. Announcers were good. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the season. It's a great way to start it.
I saw somebody that said, "Hey, this feels like Sunday Night Football," and I was like, yeah, NBC, maybe, the thing that I have against NBC in the broadcast is I thought Michael Jordan was going to be like
Yeah,
talking like with the
everybody did.
analysts
Yeah,
about the
everybody did.
game, like covering the sport
Yeah.
as it's going on. Are you telling me that they are about to edge this freaking interview the length of the season? One interview?
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I was. I kind of knew it was gonna be like that, but I was hoping that it wasn't. But I mean, yeah, I was hoping that he was gonna be in studio doing some type of talking about like the games that are going on and like some of the stuff. But I mean, it's Mike, so I'm not surprised. I was hoping for that, but I kind of knew it was gonna be some type of just segment where he's talking about. It's just basically like a long
You like,
elongated
what is
podcast.
this?
Like an
This is
elongated podcast.
what did they announce this as? I have to go back and look and
They just
see.
announced it as a special contributor. I think is what they said. I think is the way they put it.
Because he was just sitting like they're literally about to take one interview and show us and microdose us the interview for the entirety of a whole season. And that's not what I thought we were getting when they said Michael Jordan on NBC. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. Let's get into it. We got a long slate, a lot of things to talk about here. The chat's booming. Shout out to the chat. JR's in the chat. He's not going to like what I had to say about one of his teams later on today. Fahrenheit 50, what up? Sports fan, a whole bunch of people. Eli, Pat, Andre, a bunch of people going on in the chat. Keep the chat moving. W's in the chat, all of that. Let's have a great day. We've got NBA tipping off, so y'all know. Stick with us, NBA Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, YouTube. Even if you're subscribed on YouTube, go subscribe on Apple or Spotify too, please. Like, do both. I know you might not listen over there, but go subscribe there. It helps out. All right, Lonte, very, very, very long slate. Let's see here. I mean, the injury report that I have to get through is just annoying. Unfortunately, this is the top of my card. This is not where I wanted to start the day talking, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are going on the road to play the New York Knickerbockers. Cavs are laying 1.5. 228.5 is the total. Injury report here, and yes. First of all, if you've seen the tweet that Underdog put out about the injuries for today, if they didn't have a verified account, they probably would have to put this in like the thread. And there would have to be multiple tweets for this to get out there, Lonte. DeAndre Hunter is questionable for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Darius Garland is out. Max Strus is out for the New York Knicks. You got Karl Anthony Towns popped up as a questionable late last night. You had OG Anunoby, who is probable for the game. And then Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson were both ruled out yesterday. So we have both teams kind of have some injuries in both sides, but it feels like it's a lot worse on the Knicks side of ball here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I like over. I'm staying away from the side. I mean, if I had to play, it would be Knicks at plus money. I think it's a coin flip game with all the things that are going on. Obviously, the home court opening night for the Knicks is always electric. But I mean, I think you talked about it. You were one of the guys who pioneered the home court disadvantage for the Knicks. I do think that
Yep.
this specific spot, being that it's nice weather in New York, people can still get out. So I kind of like the Knicks team total over as well. I just think with both teams are going to play with a lot of pace. Mike Brown obviously is going to implement more, threes. Now, who's going to make those threes because of all these injuries is a big question. But I do think that both teams should be able to get up and down and score the ball. So I like over. If I had to play a side, I would play the Knicks at even money.
The side does really, really tear me. I'm with you. I'm on the over as well. I just think we know Mike Brown, he wants to play fast, and this New York Knicks team, he's trying to get them to play fast, but they still weren't even doing that in the preseason. They still were playing very slow. So I don't know if they're going to acclimate to the speed, and I think Cleveland can run the speed up on them, or at least make them play as fast as they want to play. And I don't know if the Knicks are going to be able to keep up defensively, even though, he preaches himself on transition defense. That's probably what they've been working on. Also, perimeter defense for the New York Knicks hasn't been good as well. I'm not expecting any changes there, especially with Josh Hart out of the lineup. So I'm with you. I think I'm just going to go with the Cleveland side of this, though. Give me the Cavs to get this done in Madison Square Garden. I just want everybody to know that I don't think the Knicks are going to be locked in. And this is my team. I can be objective. There was a tweet that was put out by the Roommates Pod. And granted, was it actually Josh? Well, it could have actually been Josh Hart. I'm not going to lie. It could have been Josh Hart. But the Roommates Pod, somebody said the Knicks are going to get their first win before the Jets. And the Roommates Pod quoted it and was like, yeah. And they were laughing. They were egging it on. And it was like, no, don't say that. Do you know the first two games? This game against Cleveland, and then Boston comes to New York on Friday. There's a very good chance that by the time the Jets play this weekend, the Knicks still don't have a win. I the levels of looking ahead with the Tibbs going, and they're asking them about Tibbs going and doing the film session with Boston. Like, I do think there's a little bit of a look ahead here. So I don't feel great about a lot, honestly, this early in the season. So I'll just go ahead and kind of take the Cavs side of things, but I like that over. Give me a Cavs team total over. I think the Cavs are going to score regardless. We'll see what the Knicks do, but I think the Cavs are going to be able to score. All right. Let's see what's next on the docket. Let's get into Miami on the road, going to play the Orlando Magic. Magic are laying 8.5. 214.5 is the total now. We've got an injury report here for the Miami Heat. Where questionable. How the hell do you say his name? I gotta go back and look into that. Chaconis, whatever. Scott
Oh, Yakachonis?
Yakachonis.
As far as Yakachonis, yeah.
Yakachonis. Now I'm about to start saying it a million times. Yakachonis. Out. Tyler Hero. I mean, out, duh. Like, Tyler Hero's always hurt. Jalen Suggs is a questionable, and you got Mo Wagner is out. All right. So Miami Heat is a dog. I don't think you have been as committed to it as I have. still pretty good. 11-8-1 over the last 20 games. They're 19-10-1 over their last 30 games when they're listed as a dog of 8 or more. And they've been very good as a dog against the Magic. 7 of their last 10 games, they have won straight up as a dog against the Magic. So, Lonte, tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, I don't think you're wrong. I respect Spoelstra, and regardless of who he puts on the court, I think that they have a shot, especially with the familiarity being in the division. The Magic are they're one of the teams that I can't wait to watch to see how it looks, especially with Bane being able to space the floor and Franz and Paulo having a lot more room to work with. So I think the Magic are going to come out. Suggs, obviously, being back healthy is really good for them. I'm looking at the Magic first quarter, first half, and then maybe Miami Heat kind of slow the game down because I do think it'll be a slow paced game, regardless of how they've been talking about the Magic wanting to play faster. I mean, everybody in the offseason wants to play faster. They want to shoot more threes, but we know the Magic are going to play really good defense. They're going to slow the tempo down. I like their half court. I like the vision of their half court offense with some shooting, with more shooting and better spacing. So I do kind of like the Heat team, but I want to see them fully healthy. So I'm going Magic first quarter, first half. So I don't disagree with your Heat play, but I like the Magic first quarter, first half a little bit more.
Okay. Lonte, is there any concern for me and the fact that I may be fading dead? Hello? Are we back? Whoa. Hello? Did we just have
I have no idea what just happened.
what just happened?
I have no idea. The screen it just started the countdown again. I have no idea.
Are you serious? Aw, see.
I didn't hear.
Cash the over on production mistakes without Scott.
Yeah, I don't know what. It just random. I'm just sitting here looking and then the countdown starts. I'm like, what?
Well, I was trying to show the really cool picture of Desmond Bane, and I thought we were talking about Desmond Bane here for a second, but I tried to pull up the really cool picture. It didn't work. So that's what happens when Scott's not here, and we're not able to eat. Like, what happened? What was that? There we go. Yep. Everybody. Yep. Chat's winning. Chat is winning. Everybody. See, now everybody's in the chat like, yo, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
All right, there we go. I don't know what that was. That was me. That was not your phone, Beans. That was not your phone. That was me. I don't know what was going on. We're not going to touch it again. We're not going to do it again. Just go to Twitter and look at the really cool picture of Desmond Bane in the Bane mask and ask yourself, why did Memphis never do this? Why did Memphis never? Well, probably wouldn't have been good PR for Memphis at the time, for being honest. But very, very great idea by the Orlando social media staff. No idea why that hasn't been done already. Last thing I want to add to the Orlando Magic, I feel like I have a history of remembering really slow starters in the beginning of the season. So curious on what that's going to look like, but notoriously slow starters. But there were some bad Magic teams in there some years. All right. I'm on Miami. I think Lonte's on Orlando.
Yeah, first quarter, first half. The rest of the side, if I had to, I would probably just end up playing the Magic full game, but I don't want to. I just prefer the earlier numbers.
Any look on total?
Under. I just think that both of these teams familiar with each other. The defense is going to be a priority. I don't really trust it. How are the Heat going to generate offense?
This could potential. So there's a potential that Norman Powell actually just like goes off.
Yeah, I like Norman Powell.
and that's the thing. That's the only thing that I could really see like send this over if you have like that crazy Norman Powell 35-point game that he was doing last year where he was just going like absolutely nuclear for a stretch. But like I'm with you. I think this Magic team is going to be nuts defensively, and I think the Heat are going to play right into that. So it's an under game for me too. All right. before we get to the rest of the slate, gotta talk to you about mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every single sport. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime, and you can do that with mybookie.ag. So go get in on the action in the NFL, get in the action on NBA, NHL, MLB playoffs. We got this World Series. Shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series. Whoa. Okay. Now I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But you saw that, right? Was that you?
Yeah, I think it was me. That's
Okay.
yeah, that's
Okay,
gonna
that was okay. I'm just
that was
saying. Hands are up here. Head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. Mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices. 35 plus states you can activate Novig. Go lock in with Novig. Get $50 when you spend just $5 when you use promo code SGP and get in on the action and get the better odds, the best reduced juice on a bet over there at Novig SGPN. All right, let's get into it. Who's going to be next here, Lonte? We've got the Charlotte Hornets around our neck of the woods over there in the Queen City. Welcome in the Brooklyn Nets. Nets catching 4.5. 227.5 is the total here. Let's see. Injury report for this one. And we've got, hold on. Thank you, Underdog. There we go. For the Charlotte Hornets, we've got Grant Williams out, Josh Green out, Hayward Highsmith is out for the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, that Hayward Highsmith. All right, Lonte, what are you doing here? Laying 4.5 in Charlotte.
well, one of my favorite bets on card. Love the Hornets in the spot. Young
Really?
Nets, yeah, young Nets team. The Hornets defensively are going to be a lot better. They were pretty good last year. They just kind of fell off whenever Brandon Miller got hurt. He was one of their better perimeter defenders. I like Kalkbrenner being there. I like the energy around the Hornets. Obviously, we hear a lot more about the Hornets in North Carolina, but I like the energy around the team. I like the staff. I just think the Nets they're a young team. Going to be tough to get offense outside of Cam Thomas, hoisting up shots. I know MPJ is there as well, but the Hornets should have a really good set of defenders to throw at him. They got of course Brandon Miller. They've got what's my guy name? I can't remember. I'm
What?
blanking on his
Con
name.
Knipple? Who are we talking
No,
about?
Bridges. They got Bridges. I forgot. Yeah, they got Bridges. Him being there, so a couple bodies to throw at him. I think Kalkbrenner at the rim will be able to defend really well. So I like the under. Love the Hornets in the game. I think they win by double digits.
Wow. Not where I thought we were going to go with this. So I do have in the notes written here the Nets do own Charlotte in Charlotte. They have they have won their last 7 of 10 games in Charlotte, covered the last 7 of the last 10, and the last 7 of the last 10 games as a dog to the Charlotte Hornets. So in games where they've said the Nets are clearly worse than this Charlotte team, the Nets have covered 7 of those 10 games. I don't think I can be on Charlotte here. I already kind of told myself I was going to take whoever was the dog in this spot anyway when I knew that this game was on the card because I was like, of course, the Nets are playing, the Charlotte's playing the Nets first game of the season. Like I thought I was going to go, but I don't think I'm going to go. I don't want to go see this game. But everything does. I don't have a lot to go off of, and I understand this Nets team is bad, but I don't think the Charlotte team is going to be that good either, to be honest. And Scott likes to say, LaMelo, losing basketball player. I don't agree with that, but I do agree that they do like to push the game as close as they can at times. So I will take the Nets and the points. Not as confident as about you though. Yeah, I really don't have a feel for the total. I could see your under come in because the game is just ugly and the ball's not going in the basket. But I could also see like nobody just attempting to guard anybody in this game at all. And the preseason defense, there was no defense there. So yeah, I don't really have anything on the total. I guess I'll just go opposite and go over. But yeah.
That's fair.
Any
I
other
like.
thoughts?
No, I like under. I mean, I just think the Hornets defense it was really underrated last year. They did a decent job. They just couldn't score without LaMelo and Brandon. I mean, damn near the whole team was out. So yeah, but I think they'll be better offensively. I mean, Hornets fringe playoff team to me. Play in. I'm sorry, play in.
I don't know if I'm there yet.
Wide open at the bottom. It's wide open at the bottom.
Let me give him a week or two, and I might be right there with you. I would love to see that. I would really love to see that, but I don't know if I'm there yet. All right, let's see. Next game up. Oh, we finally made it to 7:30. Well, is this on the 4-letter network? Because they'll be starting the game at 7:40. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about with NBC. What's up, man? Just start the game at 7:30. Or if you're gonna have a 7:40 tip, just say, okay, the game starts at 7:40. Like, I don't get why do we have to say the game starts at 7:30 and not start the game at 7:30? I've never understood that. Like, if it's gonna start at 7:40, just say, oh, game starts at 7:40. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad. They act like this is this show. This is a show where we could start wherever we want. This is a show that we can do that. You are actually nationally televised television. Don't do that. Oh my gosh. All right.
College does a good job of starting on time. They start their games at 11:59. The noon games start exactly on time.
You said who?
The college football, they start exactly.
Yes, they start before. College football
Yeah.
starts before. You'll be sitting there like, 12 o'clock game, and you're looking at 11:59. Oh, the kick's going. What?
Yeah.
You know,
Basketball's like that too.
you know who's
College
also
basketball.
good about it? WNBA. But TNT wasn't bad. Like, TNT will start the game at like 7:32. Like, TNT was cool. So like, and so also is inside the NBA like just. So I saw something that said there's just gonna be on ES. Like, is it the same thing just on ESPN? What's up with that?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I have no. I was lost the whole thing. Like they were. I didn't understand.
Can somebody in the chat help us with that? Like, I mean, because I feel like I just saw a notification. You know how ESPN pops a notification on your phone? Like, I kind of didn't really look at it, kind of swiped past it real quick. But when I thought about it, I said inside the NBA, and I thought I saw like the 4 guys, and I'm like, wait, are they just doing this like on ESPN now? But then it's like, why did we just go through the emotions of thinking we're never going to see this again? We just went through all those emotions. Yeah. It was a documentary.
I think it was the more so just the TNT thing. But yeah, I'm with you. But it's like you guys are you're going to be working next year, right?
So like what? This is imagine if John Cena just did all of this through this last year of wrestling, just for him to have his last match and then have another match like 2 months later. Like, what? Why are we doing this? I don't know. They got the feels going, and I thought we weren't going to see him again, but I guess we're going to see it inside the NBA tonight. I don't know. Who is this? Timeout Sports is saying, yes, it's the same thing, starts tonight. Wow. It's crazy. Yeah, Degenerate Dan said he got a wow. That I have never seen somebody spell my name like that. I'm sorry, that just caught me off. Never in my life have I ever gotten that spelling of my name. Wow, so great. That is a good one, Dan. Great one. But yeah, he got to add 2 this morning. All right, let's get back into it. Philly, Boston. Boston's at home. Boston's laying 3.5. 229.5 is the total. Let's look at the injury report here for the Boston Celtics, and we've got Jaylen Brown has a questionable tag. That would really hurt my soul because, like, everything I have hinges on Jaylen Brown tonight, honestly. Jason Tatum, of course. Like, why is Jason Tatum's name here is out? We know he's out. Like, for an incredibly long injury report that has so many names, why put Jason Tatum's name up there? We know he's not coming back. We know that. Paul George is out. Trendon Watford's out. Jarrett McCain's out. So, first of all, start your centers against the Celtics. Joel Embiid should have a monster day. Monster day. I mean, who's guarding him? If as long as he goes out there and he doesn't look like a fat, lazy slob, he should be really good. Really, really good. I will admit, if I turn on that game and I look at Joel Embiid play and he looks like a fat, lazy slob, I'm going to be very disappointed because his bet's going to lose. But if Joel Embiid is any form of competent, he should easily hit over 24.5. With that being said, Jaylen Brown is probably going to try to kill people this season. I'm also convinced on that. I think I'm going to bet Jaylen Brown overs for the duration of the season until they probably make it something that's insane. But I think he might actually try to kill people this season. With all that being said, can you take Boston, Lonte?
Yeah, I like Philly.
Okay.
As long as Embiid is there, I mean, I think they did a good job with the roster construction with those guys. I like VJ. I mean, the Celtics I think will be better than what the win total and some people perceive, just because they have high level talent in the backcourt, especially their front line is an issue. Um, that's an issue. So I do think Embiid has a monster game. So I'm going with Philly, and they win it outright.
All right. I just, my thing is, I have no idea how they're going to stop Joel Embiid. And I think that's going to be a problem. And then they're clearly looking ahead to the Knicks on Friday. Like, this is a clear basketball look ahead here. Tibbs was at their practice showing Knicks film. How did we beat you? This is how. He was doing that. And they have a game against Philly. And they were watching the Knicks. That is literally the definition of look ahead. And I just feel like I have the script. It would be so poetic for the Celtics to lose this game and then go on the road and beat the Knicks and get their first win of the season. And so I'm convinced that's what's going to happen. So, yeah, give me the 76ers here. I just think that Joel Embiid is going to be too much. Ultimately, I think these two teams probably aren't that far apart, if we're being honest. But I just think that Joel Embiid and what Joel Embiid is going to be able to give them consistently, and I'm banking on some type of 30-plus game. I think that's going to be enough when it gets down to it, that they squeak out a win, and they probably feel good about themselves. Like, oh, we beat Boston in Boston, and they probably feel good, and then the Sixers begin to suck for like the next 2 weeks. So that's how I kind of figured it out. I like Sixers here. Get it done today. Not indicative of how I feel about them the entirety of the season. All right. What's the total at? Total 229.5. What do you like?
Yeah, this is a tricky one, to be honest with you, because the way that I think the game should be played is through Embiid, and maybe the Celtics kind of want to slow it down a tad bit, or speed it up a little bit. I'm sorry, so they won't have to play through Embiid and kind of get him running up and down the floor. So I'm kind of torn. I would probably go under because I picked Philly, so I think it's correlated. I think Philly and under, Boston and over. So yeah, if I had to, I would go under, but I do like Philly though.
All right. Mm, yeah, I guess over two. Slightly concerned. Slightly concerned for everybody else in Boston. I don't know how they're going to show up in this spot, but I could see it. All right. Let's see here what we got. Next game on the slate, we've got the Toronto Raptors on the road going to play the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks are laying 5.5. Let's see here. 236.5 is the total injury report. And these are the two teams that have a relatively clean injury report. Nobody on the Atlanta Hawks is on the injury report at all. Jacoby Walter and Colin Murray Boyles are both out, but that's probably one of the best injury reports we're going to get all day. I think it's one more game later in the day that actually has a better one, but that's one of the best ones we're going to get all day. I want to hear your take first. What do you like here? Because there's a lot of optimism about this Hawks team this season.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty optimistic about both teams. I actually hate this game because I want to bet on both teams. So like coming into the season, you kind of pick your team that you want to bet on. Both of these teams are, two of those who I want to bet on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with the Raptors at plus 5.5. I mean, they were incredible as a dog late in the season, and I think they'll be a lot more better offensively because of Brandon Ingram. They do add some younger pieces. I think a lot of the front line is the biggest question, but I don't think the Hawks have a ton outside of Onyeka. KP wants to play on the perimeter. So I'm gonna take the Raptors here. I think they can make this game a little bit ugly. Defensive game. I do like the Hawks though. It's just plus 5.5. It probably should be like 3.5, which probably like pick them on a neutral. So I'm gonna take the 5.5 with the Raptors.
All right.
I don't love it though. I don't love it. I really just do not love it. But
Very interesting intel here. The Raptors do enjoy their time in Atlanta. Last 10 trips as a road dog in Atlanta, the Raptors are 5-5 straight up, 7-3 ATS in those 10 games. Also, we have history on our side in how these teams like to start the beginning of the season. And I felt like that I was questionable on the Hawks in the beginning of the season. And then it just so happened that the numbers did back it up as well. The Hawks' last 20 games in October, they are 5-14-1 ATS. The Raptors, 13-7. It's not a lot to go off of here. But the Raptors like to show up in Atlanta randomly in this spot. They also historically better in the beginning of the season than the Hawks are. And I sit here, I just really have to really get my mind on the Hawks playing good defense, Lonte. And I just don't. It's just not there for me yet. Maybe they prove me wrong. And in the early part of this season, Quinn Snyder has done something magically different, and this team, just as a collection unit, plays better defense. But Dyson Daniels was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, and they still looked horrible most nights, Lonte.
No, he won it. He won it.
No, it was Mobley.
Oh, damn, he did. No, I thought
it was Mobley.
Oh, wait, okay.
Yeah, Mobley.
Oh, I thought Dyson.
No, Mobley's got his gold patch. Yeah, but still, great defensive season from Dyson Daniels. Didn't do anything. I don't think they're going to be better. I don't think Kristaps Porzingis changes that. I don't. So I'm going to fade the Hawks. Give me the Raptors too, plus the points. Sprinkle on the money line. This is potential to be a dog play. This is a potential dog play here. The Hawks have a history of just not being good to start the season. That's a point blank. All right. We'll see here. Before we get to the next game of the slate, gotta talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Matter of fact, Lonte, let's go ahead and whip up a little Underdog lineup here right now. You got any props, anything that's on your mind that we can go ahead and throw into Underdog?
I think the Embiid one was the perfect. That's the perfect one. The first leg, I think.
Higher
Embiid point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's get a higher 24.5 on Joel Embiid. All right. Yeah, I like. I told you I like the angle. I think it's a real good play. Let's see here.
I like Desmond Bane threes as well.
Desmond Bane threes. Okay. Hey, Miami has at times definitely been a little lack on the perimeter, so I can get behind that. And he's got the Bane mask, so higher 2.5 3-pointers made for Desmond Bane. And I will throw in one of Ja Morant has been over this line in 5 of his last 5 games against Pelicans. Ja Morant's at home. I understand he's been nicked up with the injury troubles and all of that, but Ja Morant, even with a questionable tag, loves to go out there and put on a show. And I feel like he's had some big games in the start of the season. I haven't gone back to look into that. Don't quote me on that. But I will add Ja Morant, higher 24.5 points. So we got Desmond Bane, higher 2.5 3-pointers made. Joel Embiid, higher 24.5 points. And Ja Morant, higher 24.5 points. Add that on the Underdog, shake it up. You're going to get 6.4x. All right, let's get $640 over there at Underdog Fantasy. And Boosttober, I got a 30% profit boost here, Lonte. That brings me up to 8.02x. Gonna lock this in. And make sure you, again, use that promo code NBA SGPN $5, where you can play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Oh yeah, I forgot, Lonte. JR, our resident Canadian. I'm sure we have a number of resident Canadians that are hiding in the chat, but JR is our well-known resident Canadian. His Raptors and his Hawks going up against each other is a very, very tough side for him. But it looks like that the Raptors is handling business because they hyped up the Blue Jays and the Leafs let them down last night. So They've already gotten the mellow of the Blue Jays going to the World Series. The Leafs took that L, so the Raptors are going to get us going, Lonte, with the wins later on today. All right, let's talk about rhythm. And Rhythm is going ahead and starting to heat things up for the NBA, getting all their NBA models good and ready to go. Make sure you go over there, tap in with Rhythm. Use that promo code SGPN25 for 25% off your first month. You can go over there. Let me see. What does the Rhythm Labs want to cook up here today? Well. Look at what Rhythm likes here. Rhythm agrees the Miami Heat as a dog, the play that you got to bake. They got the Heat plus 2.5 points here. 2.7, I'm sorry, plus 2.7 points here. They think the Heat are going to keep this close. It's going to be a competitive game, 67.4% win probability. Make sure you go check out that over there in Rhythm. Again, SGPN 25. It's a good number of stuff too. Look at this, Jordan Clarkson over 2.5 rebounds. That's the second play that I gave you. Over 2.5 rebounds, Jordan Clarkson. They really like that play here today. So nice little tidbit for you there. Make sure you go tap in with Rhythm SGPN25. All right, back to the games. What are we doing? We've got the Detroit Pistons on the road going to play the Chicago Bulls. Pistons laying 2.5, 235.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have Karis LeVert's a probable. Marcus Sasser is doubtful, and oh my gosh, Jaden Ivey is out. He's going to be out for a while. Kobe White's out for the Chicago Bulls. Zach Collins is also out for the Chicago Bulls. Lonte, what are we doing here? Laying the points on the road with the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, I like the Pistons here. I mean, without Kobe White, it's tough to garner enough offensive ability. I know the Bulls like to play fast, but the Pistons have a good defense. I think they'll be ready to go. Cade should have his day with Chicago. The guards, especially, they're gonna probably load up on Giddey and probably force him to be a scorer and not facilitator. I mean, I just don't know who you trust. Like, who's gonna score for Chicago? I know the pace is gonna generate some offense, but Kobe was a 20-point scorer, or close to 20-point scorer, and I think that's a lot gone from the offense. Not to mention what he does with creating for others and rebounding. He plays solid defense. So I think the Pistons are easily decided. I don't agree with the money being poured in on the Bulls. So I like the Pistons a lot.
I also am concerned about why people are very confident in the Bulls here. I just don't think the Bulls defense is going to be there. I'll be honest. And Cade is going to pick them apart. Like, fire up Cade for your king of the court today as, one of those little, how many people are playing Cade in a day where you have Giannis playing games? Like, I think that this is going to be a big game. And I just don't trust this Chicago Bulls defense. That's ultimately what it is. I have to see it from the Bulls here. I feel like the Bulls are going to be that team. They're going to be really scrappy over the course of the year. But that's with Kobe White on the team scoring points in this offense. Without him, I don't know. It could be ugly. Yeah, give me the Pistons. I'm confused why a bunch of people like the Bulls too. I've seen people on the Bulls. I really haven't understood that all the way yet. But I'll take the Pistons too. Laying 2.5. Pistons were playing good last year. Like, they were playing well. All right. 235.5 is the total there. Pistons team total over for me. I feel like that's a play that I feel better with regardless. Like, maybe the Bulls go on some unreal scoring run and they win some type of 125 to 123 type game or something like that. But I mean, I think the Pistons are going to put up their fair share of points regardless.
I completely agree. I don't think the pace is going to be there. Pistons want to play slower, but I do think that they'll be effective when they play that slower pace. They're going to walk the ball up, not going to look to push, but just because of what the Bulls' defense is, I think that they'll be able to score.
JR is mentioning the Bulls handled the Cavs twice in the preseason. Could not be correlated at all, but the Pistons also lost to that same Cavs team in the preseason. We'll see. If the Bulls hits, I'm going to remember that for next year. I will remember. If the Bulls hit, I promise you, I will remember that for next year. All right, let's get going. Next game. Oh my God, the Wizards are on the road going to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are like 9.5 points. 227.5 is the total. Injury report. Bilal Koulibaly is out for the Wizards. And what was this the game? Yeah, this is the game because they don't have anything else listed for the Milwaukee Bucks here. And so, right now, runaway favorite for best game with least injuries, and it's the Bulls. I mean, not the Bulls. It's the Bucks and the Wizards. Go figure. All right. I understand, Lonte. While I change the caption, I understand this Wizards team sucks. But can you really lay this amount of points with the Bucks? And I don't think we are sold on this Bucks team being legit. I actually don't know your take on the Bucks, but I know me and Scott are not sold on this Bucks team being legit. I have a lot of question marks about the Bucks this season.
Legit, no, but I like the Bucks a lot more than what other people do. I just think they need to get some cohesiveness. I like the front line. I think Giannis is going to have probably a monster year. Like I bet him to win MVP at like 15-1, I think. So I do like the Bucks long term, but in this spot, the Wizards actually played them pretty well last year, and I think although it won't show probably in the win total, they're immensely more talented than what they were last year. So I would maybe look at playing the Wizards. I think they'll be competitive. They'll be scrappy. They don't have a ton of size on the interior, so Giannis should be. I mean, if you, I guess if you believe in Sar, but Giannis will probably run right over Sar and dunk on him. So I like the Bucks long term. In this specific spot, I won at 10. I think it opened
Oh
like
no,
10 and a
it's
half.
10.5. It just moved to 10.5 right now. So right now the
Okay.
number is 10.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the 10 and a half.
Yeah. I don't know. Double digits with this Bucks. I feel like we're just betting. If you want to bet the Bucks, just bet Giannis. Like whatever money that you felt comfortable in laying Bucks minus 10.5, just bet Giannis at whatever is what's Giannis points prop at? It can't be anything absurd. What, 31.5? 32.5 maybe? Like I would feel way more confident just putting that money on Giannis than putting it on the Bucks team overall. And I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing anytime that I even consider saying, yeah, I'm gonna lay the points for the Bucks. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna just put this on Giannis. 31.5 points. Yeah. I just put it on Giannis. But so Wizards plus 10.5 here.
Yeah, somebody brought up in the chat about Chris Middleton. I like that. I like that coming back to Milwaukee.
It is Middleton revenge game here.
Forgot about that.
Kyle
Maybe the
Kuzma
ZBL.
revenge game, I guess, if you want to kind of call it. But definitely Middleton in Milwaukee. That could be a nice little angle there. We'll have to remember that. All right. the more brothers Giannis collects, like Infinity Stones, the stronger he gets. He does have another brother on the team. That is a very good angle here. That is a very good angle. The more brothers on the team, the stronger he gets. Okay, 31.5. We should have added that in Underdog. That's all right. We have more. I'm gonna make another Underdog lineup with Giannis over higher 31.5 points. I'm gonna do that. Okay. Let's get on. Chat is booming. The chat is going. The chat is on it today, yo. Like W's in the chat. W's in the chat. All right. 228.5 is total. Anything on the total? I don't care. I don't care.
I mean, I think the Bucks will be able to score. I think the Wizards, they're young. The Wizards on the wing I think they'll be able to score.
Actually, I'm perfectly fine fading the Bucks defensively. I'll take the over. I'm fine fading the Bucks defensively. It's Giannis. Like, it's literally Giannis, and that's it.
Yeah, I like the over as well.
We'll see what Miles Turner adds to this team, but like I'm fine fading the Bucks defensively and saying the Bucks are not a good defensive team. All right. Hopefully the Wizards don't make me pay for that. New Orleans Pelicans on the road going to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies are laying 4.5. 236.5 is the total. Injury report here, and we have. Let me see. Jaren Jackson Jr. looks like he's going to be able to play today. Vince Williams Jr. is out. Ty Jerome is out. Scottie Pippen Jr. is out. Brandon Clark is out. Zach Edey is out. Is this not the like we just picked up right where we left off?
Typical Memphis
We're
injuries.
like we just picked up right where we left off. What is going on in the off season that we have gotten to the point where you were hurt all of last year? You had the off season and you're still hurt. Ah. DeJounte Murray's out. Kevon Looney is out. That's going to be, something big for the Pelicans to try to figure out. All right. I don't know how this line grew up to, because at one point it was 3, now it's 4.5. I don't know how this line grew with the level of injuries, but then I just remembered you have 12 playing. And if you have 12 playing at home, good things happen. Is there any trust here in this New Orleans Pelicans team? And because I feel like I do this every year where I give the Pelicans a shot and then they very quickly prove to me that I should have never done that and I regret ever doing it. And so now I am very much considering just not giving them that shot at all whatsoever.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm giving them that shot, win total wise, and in this game. I mean, they're a deeper team. If you listen to or read some of the stuff that are coming out of the Grizzlies, they got a really good beat reporter. DeMichael Cole, I think is his name. Really good beat reporter who talks a lot about the Mavericks. Also, Parker Fleming, I think is I don't know if he covers the team, but he does a good job for that as well. They talk about the depth. Obviously, half of their team is on the injury report, so they don't have a lot of depth. The one thing the Pelicans do have for him, they can play 8-9 guys. They got good perimeter defenders to throw at Ja. They got shooting. I think Trey Murphy is going to have a monster game because the wings of Memphis are not there. I mean, Jalen Wills a little bit undersized, so I think that
But he's a
Zion
good
should have
defender, man.
Yeah, Jalen Wills is a good defender. Yeah, but I mean, that's who else do you like defending?
No, I mean they got KCP there, like,
Yeah,
they got it's solid. I think they're gonna be okay. It's just like if these guys come back, how good is Memphis really? Because I
yeah.
still
I mean,
think
they're,
they
really
can
good.
handle business here. Like I am not afraid of the New Orleans Pelicans until they prove me any different.
I mean, you shouldn't be. Yeah, you shouldn't be. Yeah, but I'm gonna take the points. I mean, you got the Zion versus Ja for the South Carolina
Is anybody can't
state title.
Yeah, like, and they get up for this game. It's Memphis at home. Memphis is very good at
I
home.
mean, Zion is healthy, so that's the one thing that I'm hanging my hat on. I think this is one of the more intriguing games of the slate. So
Last
I'll
10
be tuned in.
games, last 10 games between these two teams, in Memphis, Memphis has won 7 of the last 10. So they're very good when they bring not as good when they go to New Orleans though. But very good when they're in. And this is probably one of those games. And I feel like I remember it. You just bet the home team in this matchup. So I'll take the Grizzlies. Probably don't feel the best about it. Maybe they're a money line team in a parlay, but I trust Ja. I trust 12. I think Ja's going to have a good game. So ultimately, I think that's what carries them.
Yep.
Totals at 236.5.
Over. Don't trust the Memphis defense.
Yes.
They're gonna play with a lot of pace.
They are.
Playing with a ton of. They played with the most pace, I think, in NBA history last year, and this was without a lot of their key players. So now, I mean, they're still without a lot of their key players, but a couple of new pieces in there. I think they'll be able to shoot the three a little bit better. I'm interested to see what Cedric Calvert does their first round.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get too invested in these teams. It is very early, but I just got to go with what I know from New Orleans, and I just know that I can't trust them ever. And there's people that are betting. There's a lot of people betting New Orleans tonight. A lot of people betting New Orleans. I hope they're right for their sake, but I don't know. Just question marks there for me. All right, let's go on. Next game, we've got the Los Angeles Clippers laying 10 on the road against the Utah Jazz. Projected last team in the league, Utah Jazz, 225.5 is the total here. I think I saw something that said the Clippers were throwing out the oldest lineup ever or something like that. It was like between the Clippers and the Warriors, I think. Let's see here. Rel is this right? Let me go back in. Is this the game with no injury report? I feel like this is the one. I need to go verify multiple outlets here. All right, there we go. No, we've got Isaiah Collier out, Georges Niang out, Jordan Miller for the Clippers out. Ace Bailey has an injury designation, but I think he's going to be able to go. I mean, you better. What? Questionable. Officially questionable. Okay. Is it just all systems go from here? It's just straight fade Utah all the way, the whole way, and until they prove otherwise. Like, is that how how are we betting the Jazz this year? Because it's been multiple different philosophies. Oh, so you're in.
Yeah, I like the Jazz.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I am. I bet they're over as well. I mean, obviously they are the probably least talented team in the West. I think that's not up for debate. But I do think they have let me stop by saying I don't want to say elite. I really think they have a good coach because you can't be elite with them. But I think he's kind of catering to what the front office wants and not versus what because I mean they got fined for holding players out, but fully healthy now. I like their youth on the perimeter. They got a lot of depth. So I'm going to take the Jazz. I think the Jazz will be live to win this outright. I'm going to take them on the money line first quarter, first half as well.
The John Collins revenge game. Yeah. Gotta be the play of the day. Gotta be the play of the day. I don't know, man. I think for that, I gotta be on the Clippers. This Utah Jazz team is horrible. And they were very clearly tanking last year. And what if we sit here and we look at this game and it gets ugly very early and we watch the quit come across the Utah Jazz? Like, how many players on the Utah Jazz at that point are just going to go in it for themselves and just try to, get their own buckets? Like,
I can think of one off the top of my head. I can definitely think of one.
Like, how long do we? Okay, like, let's be honest. Like, at some point, Ace is going into business for himself, right? Like in this whole season, in this whole experience, at some point he's going into business for himself. For that reason,
when the ball is thrown up for jump ball.
Bro, how do we bet the Jazz team when there's one player that might be sabotaging them? Like, he literally might be sabotaging. Oh, he might. Oh, it might be sabotage. It might.
No, he's actually sabotage.
Bro, he did not want to go there. He did not want to go there. No, bro, no. It might be. I'm sorry, I gotta fade the Jazz until further notice. Give me the Clippers. Ew, that's disgusting. I'll lay the 9.5 with the Clippers. John Collins is the player to watch in this game. Big revenge game aspect there. Probably will have a ladder on John Collins for myself. 225.5 is the total. He goes into business for himself, but he is a bucket. Give me an over.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Clippers obviously going to play slow, so I mean, I think it's correlated.
Yeah, but if they play slow and make it every possession, like,
yeah, I mean, I really think the Jazz are going to be like they had a season I think 2 years ago where they were really good to start, and then they kind of tailed off. I think they're going to be back to that point. I mean, tanking doesn't work in the NBA. We saw it literally firsthand last year. It doesn't work. So hopefully they got fined for it. Hopefully they're all systems.
Did you not hear what the Brooklyn Nets? Oh, dude, I gave out a Nets play, and the Brooklyn Nets owner definitely was hinted at tanking. Oh, that was crazy. But it is a good spot for the Nets. Probably won't take the money line. They probably cover and lose. That's what the Nets do. They cover and lose. All right. Shout out to Daquan from the 7-5 and his Hornets Pistons money line parlay he gave out in the chat earlier. 3 more games. Let's get through them. We got San Antonio Spurs going up against the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks are laying 2.5 at home. 224.5 is the total. Injury report here. And we have for the San Antonio Spurs, it looks like it's going to be De'Aaron Fox is out, Jeremy Sohan is out, Kelly Olynyk is out, Lindy Waters the third is out. Yes, that Lindy Waters the third. And we've got Daniel Gafford doubtful for the Mavericks. No Kyle, I'm sorry, no Kyrie Irving, of course, and no Dante Exum. All right. Two number one picks battling it out. That's the storyline. Anthony Davis, this Mavericks team, expected to make a lot of noise, but this Spurs team is a bunch of upstarts, and they've got a great player in Devin Vassell playing on that roster as well, along with some guy named Victor Wembanyama and another rookie of the year like Stephon Castle and other stuff like that. But Devin Vassell, absolute dog. Uh, Key piece in this Spurs roster here. What are you doing, Lonte?
The Spurs in this spot, man. I think that the guard play for Dallas will come back to haunt them. Obviously, with D'Lo being the only ball handler. I know Jason Kidd was talking about having Flag and PJ Washington playing a lot more guard, but I mean, I don't know. We saw it firsthand. I mean, I didn't. I want to say it don't work. Like it didn't work last night, but you can tell at times like Amin was not comfortable like running the
Yeah.
offense, and the offense got stagnant. So, but Dallas does have D'Lo. He is capable of playing the point guard. Now, is he a point guard? No, but he's capable of doing it. I just think that the Spurs perimeter defense will be a lot better. Obviously, they could play a little bit more aggressive on the wing, knowing that they have Victor behind them. Sneaky get Luke Cornett, really sneaky get for the Spurs. I think he has immediate impact. Allows Wemby to go to the floor and kind of roam, block shot. So I do like the Spurs in this matchup. I think the Spurs win it outright.
Yeah,
Sorry, I like that, but sorry.
no, I agree. I think the no point guard thing is going to be an issue for the Dallas Mavericks as well. And there's still going to be something that you got to just kind of work out through the season. I don't think it just ultimately works into success. Probably some stagnant sets offensively where things just kind of don't move. The ball kind of sticks and it looks ugly for them. And yeah, I like this Spurs team. They've been together. They've been playing. I'm not really concerned about De'Aaron Fox being out because like these core guys have been kind of playing together, getting a feel for each other this entire time. Uh, and I'm curious to see where they go when they have a closer. That's the only thing that I will be concerned about is closing. If this is a close game in the closing minutes, who's taking the last shot? What's that offense going to look like for the San Antonio Spurs? Not really 100% certain. So I'm gonna still go with the Spurs here. I still do like the Spurs, but that's just one thing that I'd be concerned about. If this is a close game late, what does this Spurs team look like in the closing minutes? Are they able to get the ball to Wemby? Is he able to, hit the final shot, give them the win, all of that? So, all right. Next game up, we've got the Sacramento Kings going up against the Phoenix Suns. Whoop de doo. Suns are laying 4.5. 228.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have Grayson Allen probable, Jalen Green out for the Sun. Demonis Sabonis, that was announced not too long ago. He's out for a week or so. I believe it's a hamstring. Keegan Murray is going to be out for a while, and no Isaac Jones either. So these are two teams I don't want to bet on. I'm not going to lie. What are you doing, Lonte?
Yeah, I agree with you with that statement. With that said, I don't know if the Suns should be laying anything to anybody. Um,
Yeah.
the Kings, they got firepower, and I think without Sabonis, you can throw in. I'm hoping my guy Maxine Reynaud is implemented into the offense. Him and Nick Clifford, really, really two rookies that I'll be watching, and I think they'll get a lot more playing time. I do think that the guards will be really good and able to score. Rim protection, I'm not sure if Kamal Malawach will be able to, defend the pick and rolls like he was at Duke. So I think the Kings are the side here. I'm going to take the points. I think it should be probably a pick 'em game.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll take the points just because I'm getting points. But both, what excitement do you have about either one of these two teams right now? I mean, okay, let's see what Ott does with this Suns roster, but like, no, don't feel good about it at all. Yuck. Actually, I want to play the toilet bowl drop. I really do. And I'm not going to lie, I would not be surprised if the next time we talk about these two teams playing each other, we are playing the toilet bowl drop. Let's just tease that and let's see if we come back to that. Somebody try to remember that because I know I'm going to forget. Enough about that game. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the road going to play Lonte's Portland Trailblazers. I'm committing him to a bit already here. Uh, let me see what we got here. The Trailblazers are catching 4.5 at home. 221.5 is the total. That's down to 220, actually. 220.5 is the total. Injury report, we've got Anthony Edwards popped up as a questionable. I was literally punching air when I seen it because it was just another moment where the injury report just out of nowhere just throws somebody else's name on there. And then for Portland, I forgot Dame is on Portland again officially. Like I don't know where I thought Dame was at I don't know where I thought Dame was at. Like I just because I know he's not playing, I just forgot that he is technically a Portland Trailblazer. Dame may be at the game, but he's definitely not playing. Scoot Henderson is out and Robert Williams is out. Time Lord, of course. Of course you're out. All right, Lonte, you've been very high on Portland in the offseason.
Yep.
Are you going to roll that into the first game of the year?
Yep. They're gonna be my dog. Just a spoiler. Love Portland in this spot. A team that I'm high on and a team that I'm down on is Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota did enough for the past 2 years. I mean, I did kind of like not look good. My take didn't look good because they went to the Western Conference Finals again. But I think that had more to do with the teams that they face versus kind of what they are. So in this spot, I mean, I think defensively, Portland will be locked in. They got a lot of depth, a lot of rim protection with Hanson Yang and also Donovan Clingan. So the ball will be spaced out more. I am kind of worried about the shooting. They don't have a ton of shooting, but they're physical. They can match the physicality that Minnesota likes to play with. Going to be a slow pace type of game. I love the under. I think first team to like 95 wins, and I think Portland will be that team. So I like Portland to win outright. Take the points, of course, but yeah, this is going to be my dog for the day. It's going to be Portland. I love this spot.
I am very interested to see. Excuse me, sinuses. I am very interested to see what this Portland team is going to look like, or let me not say Portland, what Chauncey Billups is going to look like with what should be a competent defense. I think they do have some nice defensive pieces over there in Portland that could be okay. If they turn out to be a good defense, then he's got to be able to get this offense rolling. Now, with that being said, the matchup to watch is potentially Anthony Edwards versus Drew Holiday. How can he neutralize Anthony Edwards, not let him go off in this game? If that happens, I do think you're live with Portland here. I just think that's a lot to ask for. You know what? You're so committed. I think I'll go with you on Portland here just because I do know that the Minnesota Timberwolves are slower starting in the beginning of the year. They typically pick up towards the end of the season. Then next thing I know, they're a playoff team beginning a run to the Western Conference Final. But they normally start the season off pretty bad. And I'm like, see, look, that's what I'm talking about, Minnesota. I told you weren't like that. But then they turn it on at some point. So early in the season, Minnesota's not normally the best. I'll take Portland with you, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to bet this one, Lonte. I'm not going to lie to you. 220.5 is the total. You're on the under?
First team 95 wins.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I would go under. I don't think that low, but I'll go under. All right. It's time for the lock. Dog. Let's see here. I will kick it over to you, Lonte. I'll let you go first. What are you doing for your lock and dog?
Yeah, I just gave away my dog with Portland, and we just went through that, so no need to regurgitate all the stuff that we talked about. Lock the Hornets minus the 4.5 at home or 5.5, whatever it is. I think they win by double digits. Anything under like 7.5, I'm willing to lay, but I do think they win convincingly. Brooklyn young team relying on a lot of young ball handlers. Igor Demon probably can't get past me or you, and that's sad for a first round pick. That's essentially what Brooklyn did. So yeah, I think the pressure that the Hornets will be able to put on him and it'll allow kind of some stagnant offensive sets by them. I think the Hornets offensively will be much improved. So love the Hornets in this spot. I think they win by double digits.
All right. We'll see. We'll see, Lonte. It is first. Teams can be different. My lock. It's just not a lot to go off of yet. Early in the season, I don't want to make too many big waves just yet. I want to get a feel for it because it's a lot of change. I feel like a lot of change happened in the offseason. There's a lot of injuries everywhere. So let me go with what I know to be true. And what I know to be true is that the Miami Heat are going to cover as a dog, especially when you give them a bunch of points. Rhythm likes it. I like it. History likes it. Trend support it. I'm going to take Miami Heat as my lock, plus 8.5. For my dog, man, the vibes are just really high up there in Toronto right now, man. Jays are in the World Series, going up against the Dodgers. This Toronto team can feed off of it. And then we don't got the immediate game because, as JR said, the Leafs lost already. And they love hockey. I think they were more upset about that Leafs loss. The Raptors are going to sneak in there and give them something to hope about. Give me the Raptors at plus 185 to get it done against the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta today. That's my dog. Lonte, anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
Sure, man. Thanks to the chat. Everybody showing a ton of love. Hopefully we can keep that up the rest of the season and not just, opening night for the entire association. So, yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate that.
All right. You see, the chat was booming today. Shout out to y'all. We will see you tomorrow. We will both be up here to cover the 2 games talking about tomorrow. He's at XX Lonte XX on X. I am at really real __. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA. Give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast and subscribe. Like the video before you go. And with that, best of luck on everything you have going for you. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way